Hey guys, this is Cindy, and I just wanted to show you what I'm trying to do. I'm calling this not making a faux dory, or a Midori style traveler's notebook. I'm calling it breaking all the rules when it comes to making a traveler's notebook, because I don't know, I just wanted to experiment. I was at Walmart several weeks ago and saw this placemat, and I thought, I wonder if that could be made into a traveler's notebook. So I finally got around to trying it, and I think the hardest part is figuring out the size. Now, yes, it cuts great, and I'm going to find out in a little bit how it sews. I can't imagine it not being too hard because it's pretty soft. But anyway, I was at Hobby Lobby and I took a picture of the front of one of their traveler's notebooks, and the finished size was 5 3/4 by 8.69, and I figure 8.5 inches. Well, I should have rounded up, made it like 8.75 or something. So that's number one. But then when I made that, okay, then I figured out, okay, if I cut this all in one piece, I'm not gonna fold it and then cut the 5 3/4. What's 5 3/4 doubled, so it was like 11.5. So then I thought, well, I'll give it a little, like an inch, what do you call it, spine. So I cut it 12.5, which was not easy on my cutter because it's only made for 12. So anyway, did that. I said, this is way too big. I don't like the shape of it. So anyway, just cutting down and cutting down. I finally decided that 9.5 inches, and let me tell you what I'm talking about. It's this width I'm talking about. 9.5 inches folded in half makes a pretty good size. But here's the problem. I wanted to put papers like this in there. So in order for them to fit, these are just things I printed out, to go on the trip. So putting them in there, then I had to fold them because they're too big. So I decided maybe this size wasn't the one I needed. I needed maybe a fatter one. So anyway, it depends on what your needs are. But if you want to do one like this, 9.5 by, I would say at least 8 3/4. Because see, my length is just pretty close to the standard size of a insert is 4.25 by 8.25. So mine is just really too close. So anyway, that's one thing. The other thing was the string. Okay, let me take these out. I'm pretty sure I know how to do this part. You just make an eyelet here, string through it, some sort of bead or something, tie a knot there. Okay, that works great. But then since I decided not to do a spine, because this doesn't really, you can score it and really work it, but then you're just going to weaken your placemat. So I put eyelets in, and they're not working out too well because see how they kind of pop up because my spine is too curved. So I think we'll see. If they pop out, we'll see just how well this placemat holds up. So this whole thing is going to be an experiment for the next 2 weeks. So anyway, okay, so I got this part done. But then, like I said, I didn't have a spine, so I just put in one eyelet. And I did 3 colors. My daughter's school, my husband's school. So that's why those colors are like that. So anyway, I thought, you're really supposed to have 2 holes. But I already knew I was compromising the size because my length, was just right at tip top. So I thought, I'm not putting in another one because that means my string is going to be way down. So I just went over the top. So that's breaking the rules for sure. I knew I couldn't come across here, the back, the full length of the spine, because that's definitely breaking the rules. So I just went over the top. And you know why I like this? Because this gives me this string that goes all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Can you see that? All the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. So that way I can put in my paper, and then I've got a little bit shorter string for anything that, like these papers. So anyway, this is my attempt to make one, breaking all the rules and making it a placemat. I think I'm going to round the corners, and I think I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and put some sort of little tuck or something in here. And you know what? I'll give you a report when I get back to see how it held up. So thanks for watching. Learn from my mistakes. Bye. Hi, it's Cindy. I'm here with an update on this traveler's notebook I made out of a placemat. I was going to go do 2 things, round the corners and sew in a pocket. Well, rounding the corners was hard because it wouldn't fit in my scissors too much. So I mean, I had to really struggle. And then I thought, well, I'll put something, you know, like a bottle of glue down and trace around it. So if I'd have taken more time, you know, I could have done a better job. But, you know, that's easily solved. The mistake I made, though, was not remembering that this journal, I made it too short anyway, and then now that I've rounded the corner, my papers stick out. So just, you know, if I'd have made it a little bit taller, it wouldn't have mattered about the rounded corners. But on this one, yeah, I got paper sticking out in the corners. That's okay. We're learning as we go. All right, so that's some things to think about. And then as far as this placemat that I got at Walmart, it's just, I don't know what it's made out of, plastic. It's sewed beautifully. Now, unfortunately, once again, my brain wasn't thinking, and I rounded the corner, and then I thought, oh, I got to round the corner too to match the bottom. So instead of turning it, you know, I rounded the corner on both sides. That meant, you know, I have a rounded corner here, which it could have just gone straight out. I think it would have looked better. It doesn't matter. It still makes a great tuck. So something else to keep in mind. I'm gonna have to write down all these steps. Do this, don't do that. On the back, I put a belly band just because I had this strip and it was the perfect length. So, because that's where I cut off. I'd made it originally, you know, like 12.5 inches. So I just sewed it on, put a little glue under it, and we're good to go. So I'll let you know on the, yep, well, tie a bigger knot. That's the next word of advice. Anyway, I will see how this survives. It may get chunked out of the window on the trip. But anyway, I'll keep you updated. Bye.